Module 2, Unit 4, Consensus and Conflict Management. This unit will take you through understanding various causes of conflict and identifying the importance, limitations and challenges of consensus building. We will then share with you some tips for resolving conflict and handling impasse. Having prepared his first meeting, Daniel has only one concern: how to solve a conflict if this arises, how to build a consensus. He knows that so far there exists some conflict among organisations related with the kind of incentives, monetary or others, for communitarian hygiene promoters. He is sure Yoko can give him some advice.
Hi Yoko, the meeting is taking place tomorrow, but I'm not sure how to deal with the different points of views and build a consensus amongst partners.
Building consensus is a difficult task that the coordinator is supposed to handle. Actually, there is no line authority. The coordinator cannot tell people what to do. His or her role is to bring the group of partners together through collaborative and inclusive processes on areas of common interest. As a coordinator, to better legitimize the WASH platform and all decisions taken within the platform, you need the buy-in of the group. Also, each situation is unique, so creativity is important. But don't worry, I can give you some advice that will help you deal with conflicts.
Let's start by identifying some of the causes of conflict in the sector. Most of the time, conflicts are related to the strategies. Either they are not clear or not well understood by all the groups. Sometimes we have conflict of objectives, depending on individual or partner's interest. We may also experience conflict related to the structure of the coordination. They can then be either physical, such as access or layout, or organisational, such as gaps or overlaps of activities, for example. Sometimes you may also experience conflicts over the systems in place. Communication may have been weak, leading to a misunderstanding. Some of the conflict, often arising in a coordination platform, can also come from the culture, and the shared values and beliefs can be different from one individual to another. Of course, it may also come from the individuals, where personalities, styles, or even skills can lead to conflict within the group. The problem with conflict is the longer you wait, the more complicated it becomes. Tackle it as early as possible. To settle a conflict, you will be forced to make a decision. There are several ways to make decisions, such as unilateral decision, which can be used when there is a time constraint and decisions need to be made quickly. Delegating decision can be used when we do not need everyone's buy-in and where the group has enough expertise. Voting is a quick way to get a decision. It involves all the participants to share their views, but in a certain context. It would also have some limitations. We may opt for the consensus when we need the buy-in from the group, or when solutions are not obvious. It is also a good decision to build up the relationship within the group. Negotiation is a dialogue between two or more people or parties intended to reach an understanding, resolve points of difference, to gain advantage for an individual or collective, or to craft outcomes to satisfy various interests. It can be used when we have time and when we have diverse views in the group, to bring the group together. Consultation can also be used to bring the team together. It's useful when you need to build a relationship. In the context of coordination, building consensus is the appropriate way to make a decision. Let's define what we understand by building consensus. Actually, building consensus is the process of having the maximum agreement among people by drawing on as many ideas as possible from everyone. It's not about getting everyone 100% behind the idea. It's about weight of opinion. It is important that you understand what consensus building requires. As I said before, consensus building is a process, and to go through it, one needs to take time to undertake the process, make sure that the group is willing to contribute, remain open and honest. Consensus building will sometimes be constraining, and the coordinator needs to confront and to resolve the issues with and as a group. There is no right or wrong answer. It will all depend on the situation and the matter. But good facilitation skills will help the coordinator going through the process. Now, which are the steps of the consensus building process? First, we have to agree on objectives. Then, to be clear about the upcoming issues or the problems. We need to also be ready to explore various options and solutions using participatory techniques such as brainstorming or working groups. We will then assess these options and agree to the best fit option. Upon this agreement, as a group, we shall then agree on the actions to be taken. During the process, more or less intense discussions might happen. How to deal with this? To be able to well manage a discussion, it is important to keep the right balance between initiating the discussion, having a reaction on the discussion, clarifying the various points raised during the discussion, and, finally, controlling the situation through all the discussions and ensuring that you are in good control of the situation. To summarize, successful management of group discussions over conflicting matters involves having clear goals, to fairly allow time to the participants and manage the time properly. Always be calm and respectful. Use collaborative skills such as active listening, asking open questions, and communicate openly and with transparency. Explore people's interest rather than their position. Identify agreement and common grounds. Break into smaller groups to allow good participation and decision sharing. Be willing to confront and resolve if necessary.
That's all, Daniel. I hope that this advice will help you manage your meeting tomorrow.
I'm sure, Yoko. While you were explaining the consensus building process, I imagined some situations that might happen. Would you like to help me to choose the right answer?